When I saw the advertisement for this movie come out, I was very deeply depressed because the movie was rated PG-13. Something created for children becomes subject to adultification, adult vices, so that its purity is smeared.
All right, we're back for another topic, and first we're going to take a look at the progress of Underdog's 60th? 60th. This is the inside of the suit. It's not a cape. This is the inside.
Now this is the
suit.
This is the staple garment worn underneath the cape.
So you can show this. This is the finished one.
I've done quite a lot of decorative work already. It'll still be a while before I'm finished. Here we have one of the sleeves, and you can see the use of diamonds. Well, so on rhinestones.
4mm. These are the 4mm beads.
4mm fused white pearls.
Okay, that's what's in the bag.
That's what you got for your birthday.
Yeah, pearls strung together are called fused pearls.
Oh, I wondered about the fused.
Here we got some gold, and one pattern I like a lot is loop the loops. Now here you see the silver edging. This silver is the fabric that the cape's made of.
Yeah, I love the prismatic look to it. Multicolored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might put small jewels inside each of these enclosures. Sometimes I think I'm putting too much decoration on, but then anybody who's watching, who has ever seen the New Year's Mummers Parade in Philadelphia, I'm sure you're all aware of how flamboyant, how garish those costumes are.
Too much is never enough. That's a phrase that used to be. I think it was MTV. Too much is never enough.
Now, see here, we see some motifs that are not yet finished. See, I have all sorts of patterns on paper, and I pin them onto the garment where I want them, and then stitch the raw decorative materials in place. And when a motif is completely finished, I tear away the paper, and then there's the motif by itself.
Now, how do you get them so even? Do you draw this by hand?
What?
Like when you draw this, you draw it by hand?
Do
you draw by hand?
I had my brother print the patterns, but I gave him the specifics. They're my design, but I didn't have equipment for printing them.
Okay, but is it drawn by hand, or did you do it? Why is it so even?
How does he create those? You gave him the specifications.
Yes.
The sizes, I assume, and the design. Does he draw them on his computer? Or are they from a database somewhere?
I don't know what he used. He probably doesn't use it anymore, but from the specifics I gave him, he was able to produce the designs correctly on paper. He always gives me at least one copy of each motif. The one copy that he gives me is the master, so anytime I need to use a motif a number of times, I have it photocopied, and those are the papers that get pinned onto the garment and are torn away once all the decorations are installed.
But what kind of specifics did you give him? Let's say if you got to describe this kind of pattern or design, how would I know to draw that out? Like, what would you tell me?
I explained how I wanted an S scroll. I would make a sketch of it.
Like a hand drawn.
Yes, I did make. I would make sketches whenever necessary, and then he refined them with his machinery.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Or any other patterns we should look at before we start talking about a movie that you want to talk about?
Well, we've seen this is used 8 times on the lower edge of the Underdog tunic.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, certainly you made a lot of progress since last time we saw you.
Yeah, definitely.
It's coming together nicely.
Yes.
So now you wanted to talk about a movie that I didn't see, a movie called Barbie. That's out in the theaters now. Now, Alex, did you see it? Or no?
I believe I'm seeing it soon.
Oh, you are seeing it.
Yeah, so
I don't know. I'm gonna leave it up to you because I didn't see it. I don't know anything about it.
I'm sure many present-day parents, grandparents, and maybe great-grandparents remember the fashion doll by Mattel named Barbie. I played with Barbie and her associates between the ages of 10 and 14. That made me interested in clothing and making doll-sized garments. But the dolls were created for children, and then when I saw the advertisement for this movie come out, I was very deeply depressed because the movie was rated PG-13. Something created for children becomes subject to adultification, adult vices, so that its purity is smeared.
So because it's rated 13 and above, the kids who should play with Barbie, they don't get a chance to. It's not that kind. It's not for them.
That's right.
So did you see the movie or no?
I saw just the commercials for it. That's how I knew I wouldn't like it, because it showed the actress playing Barbie flirting with Ken, her boyfriend. All the clothes and all the surroundings were pink when the clothes I bought or made were an assortment of colors.
So you feel that it's not realistic then?
It's not appropriate.
What else did you see in the commercials? What else did you see in the commercials or whatever you saw?
yeah, is there anything specific that you objected to, or do you feel it's just the rating and an overall impression?
Well, like I said, Barbie was flirting. She was trying to seduce Ken, and that's something that the children shouldn't be made to see.
Okay, so from that you concluded that it's not made for the audience that used to play with the dolls, which was younger kids. So it's a movie that took that and made it for the older.
Yes.
I think they were walking a fine line, because they're taking it for adults that used to play with Barbie and have fond memories, and maybe making it more adult.
I've seen a number of topics that were created to be child-friendly or family-friendly, but then when movie makers got their hot hands on those subjects, somehow the movies destroyed the the topic's purity by subjecting the topics to adult vices.
And you feel the children's topics should be strictly for them, and they shouldn't destroy the purity, as you say.
Well, because the movies were rated PG or PG-13 or sometimes 14, when the topics had been created for children or families with young children to enjoy, and now the movie makers contaminated the topics.
Yeah, well, Hollywood tends to contaminate everything.
Yeah, and I will agree with you. I think it is a money making, reason that they do that, because they do want the adults to go see it, because the adults spend more money. So, when it comes down to it, they are going to make it more for adults. So, I thought the most disturbing thing in the movie was when Barbie walks with her foot flat.
What?
Oh, I didn't see it.
You know how Barbie's toes are pointed so she can fit in high heels?
Yes.
Well, I think in the movie she has to walk with her feet actually go flat on the ground, and everyone's very disturbed by that.
Really?
I think so. I don't know.
Maybe
spoiler alert.
It's not the kind of movie I would see, so
yeah.
I don't know anything about it. All right, well, thank you, Suzanne, for that valid point that you made. That's certainly a valid point from your perspective. And then you also wanted to mention you found out about a TV channel that you like.
Yeah.
So tell us, what did you find? You come across it on cable, or how'd you do it?
I'm talking about a cable TV channel that for some years was known by one name. Then it apparently went off the air. But then later, when I tuned in to a program that I used to watch on it, there was that same program at the same time, but the TV channel had undergone a different name, a reincarnation, I call it.
So they just changed the name?
Yes.
What did it used to be called?
It used to be called Decades. It would show old-time TV series, also something called Through the Decades. They would look down on a certain day of the year, a certain number of decades past, and what happened on that past date. Or they gave profiles of old-time TV or movie actors.
So what is it called now? What's the new name?
I'm coming to that. On April 1st of this year, a TV Guide announced that the Decades was going away, and I was kind of disheartened at that because I enjoyed some of the old time shows that the Decades had shown. The next time I got an issue of TV Guide, I saw a channel spelled catch with a C right after that. Now, what did it mean? And one night when it was time for The Odd Couple to have aired on Decades, I punched the number buttons on my remote that I used to punch for Decades, and there was The Odd Couple, and in one of the lower corners was a channel's logo, Catchy Comedy it was called. So it was Decades, but it no longer showed the serious flashbacks or detailed programming of past times, past shows, or performers.
So they rebranded as more like a comic channel. They rebranded their channel.
Yeah.
And maybe the April 1st was April Fool's joke.
That's what I was thinking.
They told the audience to leave him, but they didn't leave. They just changed the name.
Well, there's also one thing that Catchy Comedy does that Decades used to do, which is why I look upon Catchy Comedy as just a reincarnation of Decades. Every weekend, the channel had what was called binge. They would have a marathon of episodes from one specific program, from noon on Saturday through 6 a.m. Monday. You'd see a multitude of episodes from just this one program. They highlighted a different program every weekend.
Okay, so you still have your old channel back and you enjoy the programs?
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah, very good. So anything else we need to add about that, or is that it?
I think they make a point to make sure that all the old-time comedies they show are still acceptable for family viewing, even though some of them are rated PG.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, most TV in the past was
Yeah.
typically, more family-oriented.
Yes. So is that your favorite channel?
No, I have. I don't have any really favorite channel. I have several that I support.
And can you tell us what they are? Or no?
Well, one is Antenna TV.
Okay, yeah, it's a good channel.
Yeah, in the mornings, Logo shows reruns of the Bewitched episodes. So that's something to watch when I'm eating my breakfast and getting ready for work every day.
Okay, so you like old shows?
That the old time shows were better examples of the manners or setting good examples.
They were more positive and family friendly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you like. All right. Well, thank you, Suzanne. That's an informative thing. If anyone was sad that your channel went away, they just rebranded and get a new name, same shows, same times, right? And
Watch those instead of Barbie.
I would. All right. Thank you, Suzanne.
You're welcome.